my channel, and if you found me, you must be here to talk about books, because that's why I'm here, to talk about books. Right? Today, I am going to be doing the second video of Play Etc. with me. I have this game that I got from Owlcrate, and I want to play it with people, but all of my bookish friends are online, so I'm going to play it with you guys. And it's just going to be a recommendations video, but hey, it's a fun way to do a recommendations video, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card from the stack, and then I'm going to go find books that fit the prompt. So the prompt that I picked up is books featuring rebellions and uprisings. Can you guys think of books featuring rebellions and uprisings? So I'm going to go check my shelves for some recommendations for these books while you guys try and find some to recommend to me. And go.
5 minutes later.
All right, I'm back. Do you guys have your books featuring rebellions and uprisings? So when I saw that prompt, there were 3 that immediately came to mind. And the first one would be one of my favorite series, and that would be Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I love Mia. This is a very dark tale, and if you cannot be in the head of a dark character, this is probably not the series for you, because the way she thinks can be fairly twisted sometimes, and I've heard people say that some of the things that J. Kristoff says in his books are off-putting, but it's Mia. It's the way she thinks. She's a little twisted, and it is metaphorical. That's all I can tell you without spoilers, but she's been through a lot of trauma, and this is definitely going to fit the bill for rebellion. The second one that immediately came to mind would be An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I loved this series as a whole. Ember in the Ashes was okay. Like, it was enough to make me want to keep reading, but it had a lot of those young adult flaws, a lot of those debut novel flaws. However, the books get progressively better as the series continues, and the 4th and final book, I think, is just what good writing is supposed to be. And so definitely thought of that. And then The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is like the epitome of rebellion, right? It's the story we all grew up with. It's what spawned all of these dystopian novels back in the day. And Katniss is still iconic for her story and the way her story went down. And on that note, Red Rising. Red Rising is also one of those dystopian novels that followed The Hunger Games. And I'd like to point this out here. Ender, Katniss, and now Darrow. Yeah, I'm not wrong in thinking this is a poor man's Hunger Games, right? No, I actually really love this trilogy, but this book would never make a favorites list of mine. I actually kind of hate it, but the continuation is well worth it. I highly recommend continuing with the series, even if you didn't like the first one, because I didn't like the first one, but Golden Sun, Morning Star, they were phenomenal. And this is another one that is like the epitome of rebellion and uprising. Red Rising. And of course, we have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This I adore. It is not the greatest literary work ever. It's just a good time, but there is definitely rebellion and uprising in this book. It is one of the main themes of the book. So if you like historical, well, if you like fantasy and romance blended together a la Sarah J. Maas, you will probably like this. However, I do not think that Sarah J. Maas and Jennifer L. Armentrout write the same way. Sarah J. Maas is much more flowery, much more descriptive than Jennifer L. Armentrout. But if you like that type of storytelling where the fantasy and romance blend together, then you will probably like this one as well. All right, you can't talk about Uprising without the book that started it all, right? Dune. Now, I haven't read this one yet. I'm actually very excited to read this one. It's just a book that's talked about so often on BookTube. I kind of feel like I know what it's about. And Uprising and Rebellion, I feel like it would definitely fit. And another well-loved series that is the epitome of Uprising, Mistborn. Can you talk about Rebellion without talking about Mistborn? Can you talk about Rebellion without mentioning Kelsier? Like, I don't think you can. This, if you don't know for some reason, is about a band of characters who come together to overthrow the Lord Ruler who won the day back in their day. And so evil actually won. And now they're trying to tear it down and build something else. Is that a good synopsis of this word? The Final Empire is the first book in the series, and I adore this series, guys. So good. It's so good. And one that I recently read that I adored is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. This is considered a space opera. However, we spend a lot of our time on one specific ship and don't leave said ship until much later in the book. I feel like this, even though it's labeled a space opera, is more set on the characters in this story and the rebellion. So that's why I chose this and why people are fighting back, what's going wrong in this world. And I think this is going to be one of my favorite sci-fi series. And if you guys don't know, I'm not a heavy sci-fi reader. I don't like a lot of scientific description. I like the space setting. So a lot of the books that I love that are sci-fi are not heavily scientific. But I do like the setting. I do like the atmosphere of space travel. So just want to throw that out there for you guys who are like, wait, this is one of your favorite sci-fi. It's the characters, it's the story being told here, and I like the setting. And I really like the way that this story unfolds. It's told via 3 perspectives. One of them is written, and then the other 2 are told. So very, very good. But that is my recommendation, play etc. with me video for today. Let me know, what books do you like that feature a rebellion or an uprising? Because apparently I really like those, and I'd really like to hear your guys' opinions and your guys' recommendations. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!